So, D, moving along here to a string of coaching moves here, and I said a lot of this stuff was connected kind of to the NFL. And we will start here with Oregon, man, losing one of the most important members of their staff as the Dallas Cowboys are hiring their wide receiver coach, Junior Adams. And this was a big part of Dan Lanning's staff, was an original member of his staff, one of the top recruiters in the entire country. And someone who recruited DeCorian Moore at wide receiver this year. But man, you're I think seeing it across college football with some of these coaches who don't want to deal with the transfer portal and the way the recruiting is these days, and would rather go to the next level and just coach these guys up in the NFL.
Yeah, you heard this buzz with Junior Adams before, signed a 1-year contract extension. There's a thought that maybe he is looking to make this kind of move. Like you said, it's twofold with the college and NFL. You don't deal with the portal, right? You don't deal with all the NIL, all that kind of stuff. Also, with that house settlement, we'll see how this goes. But a lot of that revenue that was made from colleges because of the TV deals and everything else went to continuously rising assistant coach salaries, head coach salaries, etc. So if you have to pay the players now from that same pot of money, are the assistant coaches going to make less money, or are their salaries going to stop rising with revenue like they had in the past? So that's something to keep in mind. You don't have the same problem in the pros. I mean, of course you do pay the players, but that's not something new, right? So that's something to keep in mind, just the impact of the house settlement on assistant coach salaries. But this is a big time recruiter. Interesting because at the pro level, that's not necessarily going to be something that he takes with him, right? Of course, the ability to have relationships and those kind of things is always important, but the recruiting ability, that's no longer a difference maker for him. So he gets to show that he's an actual elite technical coach, somebody who can lead a room of grown men. I'm sure it's an intriguing opportunity for Coach Adams. I'm sure he's upset he's not be able to coach DeCorian Moore, who in my opinion is a mini Jamar Chase and going to be just as impactful. I don't say just as impactful, but in the same kind of category as some of the freshman receivers you saw this year who are number ones kind of right out the gate. I can see that with DeCorian Moore, even with that there.
And you look here at, I have his recruiting page pulled up, and you see some of the guys that he's gotten over the last few years. DeCorian Moore, as we just mentioned, number one receiver in the country. And look, not all these guys have worked out, but regardless, you see the work he's put in from a recruiting standpoint.
And I always go to areas, right? You see Washington, you see California, you see Idaho, you see Texas, all over the country.
Missouri, Arizona.
Yeah, this guy, a truly great recruiter, can go everywhere. And if you're at a school like Oregon, where you're not getting a ton of local
Roma
kids,
Dunze, look at that. That's another one from his Washington time.
Yeah, so if you're at a school like Oregon and you're not getting a ton of kids from in-state that are going to play to the level of where Oregon is, playing right now, which is at the very top of the country, you need national recruiters. So big shoes to fill for whoever Oregon hires to replace Junior Adams. And look, is it going to be a hire or is it going to be an internal promotion?
Yeah, obviously it's a very strong staff, and you don't want to change too much if you're Oregon. But I guess we'll see, right? I mean, there's so much talent there that I don't want to downplay the importance of a coach, right? It's always so important to get these guys right from a technical standpoint, but sometimes less is also more in trying to do too much and go hire another big name coach to fill the shoes of a guy who, we understand it's going to be, tough to fill those shoes right away.
Yeah, but look, if you're a coach with a lot of ambition and you get to not only wear the logo on your polo and recruit for Oregon, which is a huge advantage for pretty much any program. If you're a coach at any program in the country, you're going to upgrade your ability to recruit just by putting on that polo. That's just the reality. Also, you immediately coach Evan Stewart, who's an NFL receiver, DeCorian Moore, who again, I think is going to be absolutely elite, true impact player. And I don't say that lightly. It's a great opportunity. Now, are they going to go outside to get a receiver coach, or are they going to go internal? You have Rashad Samples. He was a wide receiver as a player at Oklahoma State and Houston, also the wide receivers coach and passing game coordinator at Arizona State. He's your running back coach now. Is it easier, in your opinion, to get a running backs coach that you like, and then promote Samples to receivers coach. You have that flexibility. So if you're Oregon, you're probably saying, let me just get the best coach that we can get, whether it's wide receivers coach or running back coach, and Samples can be flexible, assuming he goes along with that plan. You also had the extra titles, the co-offensive coordinator title and everything else to offer as a carrot to either Samples or whoever you bring in. So I think they're going to have a lot of options at this position, because who wouldn't want to coach some of these players and recruit to this school?